What up, guys? I'm Luke and this is Crawlercast, and today I'm going to start my background series. So today we're going to do an overall view of the rigs I currently have and kind of start to go over the history behind each rig. So to my far right, we've got my very first rig ever. Rig of 1/10 scale RC crawler. This was the one that started it all. Basically a SCX 10-1 that is no longer a 10-1. But this rig was where the passion started for the hobby, the love of the size, the scale, and it just grew from there, my passion for the hobby. So after that, there's an interesting story that we'll get into about this rig when we cover it in depth. But after that, I built a rig that the body didn't last too long because it was my first experience painting, and it just wore out really quickly. But a good friend of mine, Will May, shout out Will May, gave me a body, and that rig had been known for a while as Goat Killer. To the guys in the club, you know this rig. Goat Killer is currently under construction. I have it tore down to repair and a slight rebuild. We're going to upgrade it to this CC hand aluminum flatbed and get it looking a little better than it used to. It's always been a really cool rig, but never really performed that great, so it's just going to be more of a show rig. But we're probably going to do a build series on that one too, so you'll see more about that rig in that episode. But Goat Killer was my first experience dealing with a hard body and what it takes, and really got into the hard body life, and that brings us to Broham, which was the first rig that I actually really just picked out parts and built it. This has been my Class 1 rig for the past few seasons, and finished up this season with him, and he's going to be retired. Going to put him to bed. He's been a really good rig. This truck has won me a lot of competitions in Class 1 in the area, and I'm really proud of this rig. This was my first real hard body scale build, and it did really well for a little while. Up next, we've got P-Wagon. The P-Wagon was a brand new build for last year, and it was a Class 2, and I spared no expense as far as what my pocketbook considers expensive. But dropped a pretty penny on it, and it did really well. Never quite did quite as good as I wanted it to. Man, the competition around here is getting really tough. The guys are getting so good, and the rigs are getting so good, and it's really hard to stay up top without adjusting your building style with the way that everybody else in the hobby is kind of going and progressing with. So P-Wagon did real good. I've used it on some trail events recently, and think he's pretty much tired as well. May use him on an upcoming trail style event, but other than that, he's pretty much done. After that, what I competed with this year was my SCX 10 Pro. When Axial came out with this, as you can tell, I'm a big Axial guy. When they came out with this platform, I had to have it. Was one of the first ones to get it, and I've just been in love with this rig ever since. I just love the way it handles. I love the way it's set up. The kit is amazing to put together, and I couldn't be happier with it. Little bit of weight up front, and it does great. I'm super impressed with it. So much so that I bought a second one. We'll get to that in just a minute. So that brings me to this rig, the Phoenix. A buddy during the Trucks of Fortune had bought a couple kits, and I was able to score this one at a really good price and snagged it up. And put AR-45 portals on it. Got it ready for an event, the first ever in the United States, the RC Rainforest Challenge, the RCRFC. Built this truck for that event. Ended up going a different route last minute. So I'm kind of stuck with it, and I've kind of been just trying to decide if I want to keep it or if I want to get rid of it. Well, at the championship, Hot Spring Scale Crawlers Championship Awards, I won this beautiful custom painted body from Nomad Creations. So I'm highly considering changing the bodies on this rig to the new body I got. Love that. Brian White from Nomad Creations is the man. We love having him on as one of our sponsors. He does our trophies, and he does killer work with paint jobs, from wild customs like that to weathered, rusty looking rigs, Lexan or hard body. If you're looking for somebody to do a body custom paint job for you, hit up Brian with Nomad Creations, and chances are he can do what you need him to. And then last but not least, here on the end is my second Pro kit. I decided to build a Class 1 version. So this is a Pro kit sitting on the Brazen Scale Oracle chassis. And we're getting this rig ready for my Class 1 at Crawlapalooza this year. This will be my Class 2. And not trying to spoil it, but they'll look really similar when I'm done with it. We're going to be doing a whole build series on this coming up. I've got plans for this, and I'm going to have you guys follow along with me as I rush to get this rig done before Crawlapalooza, which is just coming up in a few weeks. So I'm way behind. But that's going to end today's video, guys. Just wanted to give you an overview of what's coming up with the background series. Each episode will be covering the background, a more in-depth look at the build itself and the parts I used and how it performed for me throughout the years, and possibly a couple of transformations. And just hope you join along with me. Come back and check progress, and hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. If you did, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I drop my next video. Episode 2 of Crawlercast podcast is coming out real soon, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, guys, go hit them trails and do some crawling. We'll see you later.